Welcome back to the show, everyone. So, how does caring senior service help the community? Well, here to give us all the inside details, Dean White, Caring Senior Service. Thank you so much for joining me.
Yes, Bree, it's great to see you.
It's great to see you.
I know I just saw your weather report and just thinking, oh, it's going to rain on Saturday, but we need it. We really need it. It's been such a dry winter.
Yeah.
I know it's no skiing.
And the hills are going to be green. Is there no skiing? I haven't kept up on the ski reports, but
There really hasn't been. But you're right. We do need the rain, and the hills will be nice and green, and it'll be really refreshing. So.
And pretty soon those goats are going to be out in the hills of Laguna Beach, because I know that they get, when the rain comes and those mustard flowers grow like 6 to 8 feet tall.
Yes. I love seeing
mow them all down.
I love seeing those goats out. I really do. It's just so fun to see them.
The babies are adorable, and
right?
the noises they make. My cats are like, "What is that?"
That's so
it's just
funny.
Adorable.
Well, it's good to be back and good to see you. So
thank you. It's always good to see you, Dean. You have such a peaceful presence about you, and I know that the community feels that as well. And I know that they feel like they can trust Caring Senior Service. Take us back to what, you don't have to say everything, but what is the baseline that Caring Senior Service does for the community?
yeah, often we get a phone call that says, we're not too sure if mom needs help yet.
Oh.
And, can we just have somebody that comes a couple times during the week?
Sure.
And we might have, and a good case and story is Donna. We come every day from 9 to 1. Now, it didn't always start that way. It started just 9 to 1, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And the caregiver gets there at 9 o'clock in the morning. They prepare a little breakfast. They make sure that Donna gets her meds. And then they clean up the kitchen and kind of pick up any dishes that were there the night before. Mm-hmm. They will do a little laundry, and then it's somewhere in that there's some conversation, etc. They'll make the bed. They might help her with a shower, and then they will make her a lunch. And then after the lunch, they'll make a dinner and put it in the refrigerator. And then they'll come back the next day, or in this case, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, on Wednesday, and do the same thing. And they will take her out to get her hair done or her nails done. Sometimes they need a doctor visit, and they will either do a telemed with the doctor or take her to the doctors. Then it's nice because the families always want to know what happens at the doctor visits, right? Mm-hmm. And the caregiver will take great notes. And then pass those on to the family. Yeah,
because maybe mom might not always remember exactly what that conversation was with the doctor.
I tell you the truth, I don't always remember what the doctor says. Sometimes the doctor will say one thing, and I'm still thinking about that first thing the doctor said, that I forget. I'm not paying attention to the other things he's done, where it's nice to have, like in this case, a caregiver there taking copious notes. Right. And then we can remind mom or dad what this is. We often see people who are forgetting to take medication, taking too much medication, or have problems with falling. And we'd rather extend their life now by being there and giving support than them having a fall. And then after a hip breaks or ribs break or even a shoulder or a nose, the recovery takes so much longer.
Of course, right. So what you're saying is that no matter what the needs are of the parent or the client, you can assist.
That's right.
So it's sort of like an a la carte, and the clients get to pick and choose what they need, when they need it, the duration that they need it.
100%. In fact, we're helping, Charlene was on the show a couple months ago, and she wants some construction done. And so, she's having...
You wear a tool belt also?
Well, I don't do the construction, but, we wanted to be there when the construction people are there and to just be a support to her because the kids live so far away that she needed somebody just to overlook the contracts and talk to her about it, slow things down so that they understood it, the kids as well as mom. and that it was a good decision. So she's getting a indoor, one of those nice step-in bathtubs put in.
Oh, I
And
see.
which a lot of people in Laguna Woods have.
Okay.
But we talked through, what are the pros and cons about it, and we really are becoming, just an extension to the family.
Right. Touch on a little bit of the costs related to services like yours, because I know that's always sort of a stopping point where someone's like, yeah, I can still do this on my own. I don't really need to pay, X number of dollars a month.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Yeah, so in looking at the cost, I'm always really amazed. People will spend money on a new car or will spend money on a new TV, and yet what they might need is just somebody that comes along to be there for them. That car isn't going to help make sandwiches or help make good decisions or keep you from falling, but a person being there really becomes, we all need companionship. We need somebody that can be there, and we've seen people's lives get better and extended because of it. Mm-hmm. So cost-wise, regularly there is a fee that you would have to pay per hour. Now their fees can be extended or changed if the needs grow. But for the most part, we charge a flat rate, and then if you say that you're from Laguna, Woods TV, or our program, then they save $3 an hour, which is a big savings when you go into overtime. Mm-hmm. And then, but the other cost, they can be mitigated by if you have long-term care. Now, long-term care usually has an elimination period, which means you're paying for the services for 30, 60, or 90 days before your long-term care company then reimburses you. But we go through all those processes and explain to somebody how their long-term care can help them. And then if you are a VA, a vet, there's over 300 companies like mine in this area, but there's only like 10 of us that are approved with the VA, and my company is one of them. Right. And so if you're a vet or we're married to a vet, there's a chance that we can get you benefits as well.
That's such a relief for some people, isn't it?
Yeah, and I think the big cost is just the peace of mind.
Right.
When you really think about it, these caregivers are gold. They have beautiful hearts, and they don't make that much money, and they're willing to do so much and care. And so to me, it's a beautiful addition to the family.
You mentioned companionship, mm-hmm. So I would have to imagine that there is sort of a bonding and a friendship that's created between the caregiver and the client.
Yeah,
right?
Bree, a lot of times people are asking, will we have the same caregiver? Or will there be always a different one? Oh. And our goal is always to have the same one. Now, it doesn't always work that way. It depends on people's schedules and how often the service is required. But we really try to get the same person so that there is that bond. Right. And they get to really understand where their client is at. We've had a client that says that they're feeling fine, and the caregiver says, no, you need to go to the doctor. And we call the family, they take mom to the doctor, and sure enough, the doctor finds something, and they're able to treat it and take care of it, all because the caregiver was there to see that.
For those people who don't have immediate children in the area or family, mm-hmm. They live out of state, it's a flight to get here, how much peace of mind does Caring Senior Service give to those family members who are not here?
It's really true. It's really true. We've had families that live in Germany or live in Europe or just live out of the state. And their worry is mom says she's fine, but she's fallen twice this month. Or she is losing her sight. We had one client in Laguna Woods that was wandering and didn't know where she lived.
Oh my goodness.
And we were able to find her, bring her help, and find out that there was a UTI that she had. A UTI tends to kind of mess with your brain a little bit. And so when you get a UTI as an older person, it starts to give you delusion. And then you forget where you're at. And now it's a simple thing that we started with that client just once a month for 4 hours a month. Now we're there almost every day. It's been a couple of years since she's been our client. But we just started with a little peace of mind for the family to know that mom was going to be okay, and that there's a trusting company that's going to come alongside.
Right, right. I think that's a nice segue to show your beautiful commercial.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
I really, I caught a little bit of a glimpse of it, but I thought that is just the sweetest, most heartwarming, emotional commercial. Because, you kind of put yourself in their shoes, right?
That's right. That's right.
So we'll have the guys roll that clip when they're ready.
Sounds great.
It was Jennifer, Maribel's daughter, who called Caring Senior Service. She saw her mom's decline and was struggling on what to do next. On one hand, she felt responsible to be there for her mom. It was her mom, after all, who was there for her when she fought breast cancer 15 years ago. On the other hand, Jennifer has her own family to attend to. Caring Senior Service provided the suitable caregiver with the proper knowledge and experience to be there for Maribel, so Jennifer could be there for her mom the way she really needs to be, as her daughter. Caring Senior Service. Let us do the caregiving so you can be family.
So of course that gives me goosebumps and pulls at my heartstrings. That's beautiful.
Yeah, David Lambert, who's in that commercial, has worked with me, for a number of years, and he's also has a movie coming out this week. And
He does?
So it's it can be out nationally, and so you'll be able to see his face in other places too.
Oh, is that why you look familiar?
Is that something? So
That's
yeah,
great.
we love people, and
It shows. It absolutely shows.
and I also, part of the reason I got into the business, which we'll talk about other reasons too, but one of them is I feel like so many seniors are taken advantage of. And my goal is to help right that wrong.
Right.
And so we have very clean billing. We don't charge nickel and diming things. There's no hidden fees and stuff. There's no surprises. And if there is something that we can get involved with to help, to help clarify some, we have one that caregiver, one client that she just has a lot of email fraud.
Oh,
That is,
yeah.
so we had to go in and give her new passwords, new things, and just help her clean up the computer.
That's a big one because when the name's on a blacklist, you're going to get targeted
Yes.
every day, all day long.
Yeah.
The other reason that you went into this type of business, Dean, is from your mom.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Yeah, I even brought a picture. This is a picture of my sisters and I. There's my sisters, Dana, Dory, Debbie, and Denise. And then I have another slide that, so there's 5 of us. Of course,
All
that was
D
a little
babies.
Yeah, all D's, if that's something. And then this is a picture of my mom, Yvonne.
She
And
looks
so
like a hoot.
she loved to dance. And there are some pictures of her. And then the last picture all the way to the right is towards the end of her life. And my mom had a lung fibrosis, lung cancer, and she never smoked a cigarette in her life. And she worked at a place that they had an asbestos treatment for the indoors that we believe that she probably inhaled and something happened. But it was really difficult. Here the lungs that had the cancer metastasized to her brain, then she had brain cancer. A wonderful doctor at a Hoag, really, helped with that. And we're a family of 5. We're all super love to read and love to be educated. And so we dived into understanding everything medical, what was going on with her. But it was hard. It was hard. My mom would say to my sisters, please just don't let Dean, shower me or clean me, because she was very private.
Sure.
And of course, it was great to have my sisters there, but they also lived in different places around the world. My one sister lives in Boston, another one in Oregon, and so it was hard for all of us to converge all together at the same time. Mm-hmm. We all took shifts, but it was really the help of others and caregivers that really gave us a peace of mind that mom was okay.
Really?
And it was, coming alongside, making sure that, somebody took care of her on a daily basis, that gave her food, and so that they, and that prepared meals and did the laundry and ran to the doctor or to the pharmacy to get the prescriptions. The caregivers gave me the chance to be the son. And I got to love on my mom and just remember times with her, share times with her. My sisters got to do the same thing too. And it freed us to love my mom in what turned out to be the last days of her life. And it was only months, but I would do anything to get more time with her back. She was such a beautiful person in each one of our lives. You know, she prayed for us on a daily basis. She shared her faith with us. I truly believe that all of us walk, with the Lord because of her. And she was just a beautiful person. I would do anything to have more time with my mom. And I always tell people, if you could just see how her small hand fit into mine, and if you could see the joy that she had just as you listen to the birds in the air and the colors in the sky, and you love decorating, she loved decorating, she loved life.
Yes.
And then to see her struggle and to see her become weak, and to know that she was becoming thinner and thinner and life was just being pulled away from her, I would do anything to bring more life into her life.
Right.
And so part of the reason I got into this is to see if I can't help other moms and dads, because in some way, if I can provide a caregiver that's going to help the family be the family and extend somebody's life in a very positive way, then I'm getting a little bit more life back with my mom. And somehow my heart, sees what that is and wants to love a family through that time. And so it's, we all face hard times eventually.
Right.
Do you have somebody to walk alongside of you to care for you during that time? And then do you have a company that's going to give a peace of mind to the kids that have a whole life that's going on besides what's going on in your life, right, if you were the older client. So it's been really beautiful. It's been we mainly care for our seniors, but we have had very young people that have been struggling with cancer. A wonderful lady named Salem that was struggling for a period with cancer, and she's in her 30s.
Wow.
To a young man who, he's 68 and has dementia very, very severely. So very young to have dementia, but to have a caregiver to be there that allowed his 30-year-old kids to go to
Right.
work and et cetera,
Right.
to people who are 98 and still feel like they can do it all by themselves.
And they probably can.
It's really remarkable. A lot of them can.
Yeah.
And but it's really beautiful to see them enjoy life even more so when they have somebody to cook with, do a puzzle with, go for a walk with, even things to look out for them, to pass on to the other, their kids,
Right.
to know that they're okay.
Dean, what a beautiful interview. Thank you so much for sharing everything about your business and about you personally. Really appreciate you being here and
Thanks.
everything you do for the community.
Thanks, Bree.
You're watching This Day on Village TV. We'll be back in a minute.